Hello, everyone. Grum here with a breakdown of my draft for the Philadelphia T-Tars in the inaugural season of the Charizard Premier League. Additional links to the league, Discord, and more are in the description below, so check them out if you want. I will be posting games and team building content for at least the next 8 weeks for the duration of the season and hopefully for the playoffs as well. So leave a like and subscribe to see more of that. But before we talk about my team, let's talk a little bit about how the league is set up. The Charizard Premier League is a 14-team league created by Can't Hate and Nugs. The league will be done under the Paldea Dex draft format, which now includes Pokemon from the Indigo Disc DLC. The CPL is a low-tier Terra league, which means that only certain Pokemon can terrestrialize, Pokemon like Indeedee or Magmortar, while higher tier Pokemon like Dragapult, Glimmora, and the new Paradox Pokemon from the new DLC are all prohibited from using the Gen 9 battle gimmick. The league follows a similar format and pool of other draft leagues, most in common with the Shuckle Premier League, so shout out to the members and creators of the SPL for inspiring this league and bringing together a group of fun-loving battlers. Where the CPL differs in other leagues, though, that I have seen, at least, is that there are some extra strong Pokemon allowed in the league thanks to power creep. Pokemon like Darkrai, Kyurem, and the Latis are in there, but the CPL has also decided to add some super duper threats like Chien-Pao, Palafin, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Spectrier. With all that power added on top of the already stacked pool, including Pokemon like Dragapult, Iron Valiant, Chi-Yu, and Blaziken, I was excited and hoping that with a top 10 pick, I would end up with one of the strongest mons to enter a non-Uber draft league. Well, that was nice to believe. But look, even at pick 13, there should be good options, and I get a better pick option in the even rounds. I settled on 3 potential team cores. My preferred core would be built around one of my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon, Annihilape. Using Annihilape, Great Tusk for hazard removal, Rillaboom for grassy terrain, and wait a second, Ape went 5th? Alright, well maybe I can focus on my second preferred core then. A mixed rain sun team using Pokemon like Walking Wake, Volcanion, and even Sandy Shocks to take advantage of both rain and sun. With how the first round was going, which included interesting picks like Toxapex at 2 and Mimikyu at 7, I figured maybe that I would end up getting Palafin or Greninja for the rain dedicated portion of my team. Yeah, they were going at picks 10 and 11. But look, I still like Great Tusk as part of my Sun Rain team, so at 13, I decided to take it. It's great physical bulk, the kind of stats that I can invest heavy into offense or defense, and the ability to serve as utility support, tank, wall breaker, or set up to sweep. I knew I would want Tusk on any of the cores that I was using. I figure I would end up taking Walking Wake in round 2, and then Pellet Bird in round 3 before people started thinking about taking the Bird, who was my preferred and really the only rain setter worth drafting. Sorry, Politoed fans.
He's dead. Sorry, nice try.
Crap. Well, core 3 it is. My second round pick, Landorus Incarnate, becomes the center of the core. With its better ability of Sheer Force being banned in the CPL, Landorus is just a strong attacker with a niche ability of Sand Force, which gives Rock, Ground, and Steel type moves a 30% boost in Sandstorms. Again, niche unless you want to build your whole team around sand, which is the crux of the core. Landorus with Sand Force giving moves like Stone Edge, Earthquake, Earth Power, Sand Storm, and even a Rock type Weather Ball in the sand, all of them over 100 base power. Since I already had 2 ground types and would be getting another Water Weak Pokemon eventually, I needed to grab a Pokemon that could perform outside of the sand that wouldn't be weak to water and ice. Enter Quaquaval in round 3. The water-fighting final evolution of the Gen 9 starter Quaxly gives me a threat outside of sand thanks to its combination of its hidden ability Moxie, its signature move of Aqua Step giving it speed boost, as well as Momentum Flip Turn, Priority Aqua Jet, and the new super priority move, Upper Hand, which only works against priority moves, preventing Pokemon from revenge killing it with priority moves. Add in the ability to be another Rapid Spinner, and just enough bulk to consider using Assault Vest sets. With Quaquaval, there's not an easy way to handle my offensive core at the moment. In round 4, I snag Tyranitar to make sure that I have my Sand Setter, as well as a Dark type to help Tusk and Quack's psychic weaknesses. Tyranitar's ability to be a special wall with its high special defense and Sandstorm boost to its special defense as a Rock type was a big plus for me. On top of its support moves like Knock Off, Dragon Tail, Roar, and Thunder Wave. In round 5, I select Enamorus Therian, a special attacking threat that doesn't take sand damage thanks to Overcoat. Enamorus isn't too afraid of its weaknesses to Steel, Rock, Electric, or Poison types thanks to the support of Landorus and Great Tusk, but does continue a trend of being weak to Ice types. That's why in round 6 I selected Bronzong, whose Steel typing serves 2 purposes for the team. another Pokemon that is immune to Sandstorm Chip, and gives a resistance and counter to Ice types, especially thanks to its Levitate ability preventing some Ice types like Baxcalibur to Titan from using ground moves like Earthquake to chip it. But in round 5 and round 6, I kind of started seeing writing on the wall. I was becoming too predictable with sand. I was becoming reliant on sand and easily build against. Even more so than my fellow team, a rain team, whose team had a good bulk and natural threats like Hisuian Samurai and Keldeo. I was super slow and super weak to ice and water, and I relied on arguably the worst weather in the game, so I needed a solution. Halfway through the draft, I was too late in the game to grab fast threats, as most of them were already taken. Some of the best speedsters left were either too costly, didn't help our weak spots, or couldn't afford to take Sand Chip. That's when I saw the solution. Trick Room. For those who have followed the first season of the Dorkside Premier League, I was an adamant fan of the Aussie Illusion, who ran a fully dedicated Trick Room team using Pokemon like King Gambit, Iron Hands, and Kaparaju to make the first round of the playoffs. So with my last 2 picks of the slow attacking Enamorous T and a good Trick Room setter in Bronzong, my path forward was set. In round 7, I see a versatile option, one that can be used in either Trick Room or Sand, Ursaluna. Able to both take hits and dish them out outside of Trick Room or be a Trick Room threat, Ursaluna leaped out to me, even ahead of a Pokemon that I had been kind of wanting on any team that I wanted. But in round 8, I was able to get them, Glastrier, especially with its Terra eligibility as it's below the 10-point threshold. Glastrier, like Ursaluna, is a strong physical attacker with good defensive stats at base 130 defense and base 110 special defense. But at 8 points and a different set of Terra Captains, Glastrier is probably going to remain an Ice type for much of the season, if not all of it, but it will be a strong option for the Trick Room sets nonetheless. The first Terra Captain of the T-Tars is the newly released Zebstrika. Taken in the 9th round, Zebstrika gives me an offensive answer to Water types, which I really didn't have one prior to. But not just an answer to Water, but provides my team with another viable switch-in to Grass types. You see, Zebstrika is a Pokemon that I'm very excited to try out in Draft League. It has 3 abilities that gives it 2 immunities. Lightning Rod and Motor Drive offer it an electric immunity, which with 3 ground types on the team isn't as important. But it's its hidden ability of Sap Sipper that gives Zebstrika a grass immunity, while also boosting its attack, which is great because it is naturally high base attack. As Terra Captain, it will be able to go offensive with either double its electric stab or give it a Bolt Beam coverage with Ice Terra Blast. But defensively, the ability to swap to a water type and have an immunity to either weakness, and likely at least one partner who is immune to electric naturally, it was too good to pass up. In round 10, I added another levitating Trick Room setter in Misdreavus. Additionally, Misdreavus gives me a Ghost type, which has 2 benefits. It blocks Rapid Spin, and it provides a fighting type immunity to potentially pair with Tyranitar. And at 2 points, it's another potent Terra Captain, but not offensively. I value Misdreavus' moveset that's heavy in the disruption and support. Moves like Parasong, Taunt, and Trick can ruin setup mons, while moves like Memento, Pain Split, and Thunder Wave can help teammates, and being able to Terra into either Fairy or Steel on top of Ghost provides Misdreavus the ability to further aid its teammates. By the end of round 10, many general managers had wrapped up their teams, but I had just enough cap for either something to help Trick Room or something to shore up my water and ice weaknesses. Enter Terra Captain Appletun and Lumineon. Appleton's natural grass dragon typing gives it a 4 times resistance to water, and its thick fat ability plus the ability to Terra into a steel type provides a 4 times resistance. It also has potential with its Terra fighting to do some serious damage with body press, especially in Trick Room. And while Lumineon is kind of a nothing Pokemon, it does have a nice niche ability on the team as a water immunity that may also be able to provide useful utility in a future matchup. So there you have it, the full team of the Philadelphia T-Tars in the inaugural season of the Charizard Premier League. Look for game uploads every Saturday with team building, game commentary, and potential post-game interviews for the next 2 months, and hopefully more. I'll see you all next week for our Week 1 matchup against the Pewter City PC and Uncle Ethan. Until then, if no one has said it to you yet today, allow me to be the first one to say it to you. I love you, and go Tars.